Most of the abandoned places we visit start sad. This one didn't. This one started as one of the happiest homes we've ever walked into. We found a French family home left almost entirely behind. Walls covered in photographs, drawers full of letters, ballet portraits, religious keepsakes, and strangely, taxidermy animals watching from the shadows. Everything in here says a full, loving life was lived inside these walls. And then, all at once, everyone was gone. This is the story of the Gaudy family and the single moment that emptied their home.
Before we're gonna dive any deeper into this exploration, I want to thank the sponsor of this week's video, Copper Rewards. Exploring these abandoned places means that I have a lot of time that I'm waiting around and I'm actually doing nothing and just spending the time on my phone. And Copper Rewards is an app that actually rewards me for spending time on my phone. And the best part about it is that it's completely free and it rewards you for things like taking a quick survey, playing games, referring friends, scanning shopping receipts, and a lot more different things. You get points along the way and you can cash it out for real money. So turn those 5 minutes, please, that you have waiting at the bus stop or whatever you're doing into a real money-making thing and explore the beautiful world around you as you go.
And when you're ready to cash out, you can take your earnings straight to PayPal, Venmo, or a gift card.
So if you want to try it yourself, use my link in the description to download Copper Rewards. It takes about a minute to set up and it helps the channel tremendously. Thank you so much, Copper Rewards, for sponsoring this video, and let's get on with an epic exploration.
Scan the QR code on screen right now to download Copper Rewards even easier. And you'll get $10 just for downloading and starting your first game.
This is a very, very unique and special room in this place. And this room tells the story of Jean-Paul. Jean-Paul was the patriarch of the family, the father of the family, and I could figure out a lot through his story about him, but also about his death at the end of his life. I'll come to that in a moment. Just take in the room for a moment. You can see and form your own story about his life. It becomes very clear from all the elements in this place. Love the fox on the table. And I think I should start with the very first part of the story. That's even before they came to this household. You can see that there are pictures of sailing boats on the wall, of islands somewhere far away, and even this one over here as well. And also the geography maps as a wallpaper of this room and the maps on the wall over there. This has partially to do with their former house, and their former house was 11,000 kilometers away from France on the Reunion Islands, which are also part of the French kingdom, I think I should have to say, or as the French territory. But this is where Simone and Jean-Paul lived for 10 years from 1980 to 1990. They already had the children back then, so Claire and Antoine also lived on this island. And then afterwards they relocated to France and came to live here in this village and in this house exactly. And that's most likely why all of these beautiful paintings are left here on the wall as a reminder of their time on that island. What do we have over here? A little artwork. And they brought things from all over the world to this place. This looks like something that came from the Mayas, or from the Aztecs. This looks even more, a little bit more Aztec than Maya to me. Yeah. Some things are just plain out ugly in this room. And we even have this small drawing. Looks like it is made from a child, by a child, and there's a couple of ducks in there. So I don't know exactly what this man did in this room, but it was definitely like some sort of his office. I also have this clearly fake upholstery chair over here with the crest on top of there. It is I mean, if it was a historic piece, it would have been a really, really beautiful chair. But I think it looks a little bit tacky, to my opinion. It looks a bit fake and tacky, but that brings us to the next part of the story, because you can see a lot of geography books down here, a lot of history books over here. And Mr. Jean-Paul, during his lifetime, was a history teacher. history and geography teacher. And his wife, on the other hand, was also a teacher. She was a language teacher. Well, what do we have behind here? She taught French and Spanish throughout her lifetime. Another quite ugly chair. I think my grandfather also had a chair like this in his household. So yeah. And when he came back to France, Mr. Jean-Paul, he went into hunting. And this is where his demise started. So after his time on the Reunion Islands, Jean-Paul came back here in the 1990s and he picked up a new hobby along the way. He went into hunting, as you can see here from the fox on the table. But I read in a news article regarding this house that Jean-Paul got shot by a neighboring landowner over a dispute during a hunting session. And this is one of the reasons why this house is abandoned. And that happened around between 2006 and 2008 because his wife Simone left up, packed her bags and moved to Hungary with her friends and family over there. And that's one of the reasons why this house is abandoned right now. I don't know why they left all these memories in here though. That's still a mystery to me. But we do know that this is the reason why Simone left his house behind forever. Her children, Antoine and Claire, most likely already moved out at that point.
So who lived here? Their name was Gaudy, and we spent a while going through everything they left behind, trying to work it out. Quick word first, this is what we think happened, pieced together from the letters and the photos. It's not confirmed, it's our best guess. The dad, Jean-Paul, was a history and geography teacher, and you could tell he was an outdoors kind of guy. The mum, Simone, taught French and Spanish, and she's the one who kept all the letters. These guys wrote to people all over Europe. We even found one from a girl called Rosa, writing to them all the way from Hungary. They'd actually lived abroad for a while too, on Reunion Island, and that's where a lot of those friendships started. Then there were the two kids, the daughter Claire. There are photos of her everywhere, growing up on stage. Ballet was clearly her whole life. And the son, Antoine, raised Catholic. His first communion photo is still hanging on the wall. And for years, this place was just full of life. Books, music, ballet practice, people coming to visit, letters turning up from all over. But then, around 2006, Jean-Paul got into hunting. He was out in the countryside pretty much every weekend. And that's where things started to go wrong. He got into some kind of dispute with the neighbors over hunting land. And then, one day, out on a hunt, he was shot. Officially, it was called a hunting accident, but around here, the rumors never really went away.
So with knowing the story of Jean-Paul now, we're going to carefully proceed throughout this house with the utmost respect for everything inside of here, because this is a memory for a person that lost his life, and that was not necessary. Something that I don't understand is why, if the family lost everything, they didn't take the memories of him and also like the people in this household. For example, this is a picture of Claire, their daughter, is also just left here after the passing of their father. Would that loss have been too great to come back to this place? I don't understand, of course, what's going through people's minds when something like this happens, but yeah, that would be an explanation for me. A very cool computer still standing here, probably where Jean-Paul and his wife Simone did all their work on. French, poésie, French. They were very educated, highly educated people. They wanted the utmost discipline from their children as well. That we could also see in this picture over here of Claire, that was a highly respected ballet dancer back in the time. I do remember that I had roughly the same computer that I got from my parents when I was between 6 and 7 years old, and they got it for me from the Aldi for like 2,000 euros back in the time. I mean, that was one of the greatest things that I ever got from my parents, because I love computer science, and that's how I got into it as well. A lot of feathers from my peacock over here. Yeah. And we can see throughout this house that there are items from the Reunion Island left behind. You can see inside of here, we got these fishes, these deep sea fishes. Oh no, this even looks like a piranha. And then down here, we got a puffer fish, but they stuck some googly eyes on the puffer fish for so that the children must have done that. That looks quite strange to my opinion. Okay. The whole cabinet is filled with books. I'm looking what they might have been. It looks like almost automatique claret. They are definitely French books, but it's all encyclopedias and stuff like that. And history books, probably from the teaching that, yeah, these are all history books here. Louis the 16th we have over here. Saint Louis, Louis the 11th. This is for all the kings of France, and this is something that Jean-Paul would read for his education, but also probably for his pleasure. Even a wedding picture. I think this here is Jean-Paul, as we can see, the man in the suit. And right next to him is most likely his daughter standing. That's most likely Claire, because she looks a lot like the lady in the picture, the ballerina picture over there. He's probably bringing her to the altar and to be married out. A lot of the story I also gathered from these documents over here. There's some really nice letters of their visits to Hungary and their time in the islands. And even somebody in this place won the grand prize for poetics, poésie, as it's called in French. Wow. I don't know what they're doing in this picture over here, but it looks like they're slaughtering something in here. And it might have even been on a tropical island like the Reunion Islands, like we talked about before. Very cool. Even on top of here, we have a few more taxidermy animals, like this fox. And then a ferret or a weasel. I have a lot of difficulty distinguishing these two animals. I think this taxidermy is very, very well done. And then an owl, spread wings above here. That's incredible. Another one of those ugly chairs here in the corner. Yeah, sorry, I don't like it whatsoever. Massif Central France. This is the geography of France with all the mountain ranges and everything. Couple more taxidermy animals above here. Oh my God, look in here. This picture of a dog with a wheelchair. I read in the letters that they had a lot of dogs and that they had dogs throughout their lifetime. And they also wrote letters with their friends talking about the dogs that they had in the household and if they were still good. And sometimes they talked about the dogs passing away and them getting new dogs. These pictures are also really cool. Wow. Castañetes from Spain. As you can see, they traveled all over the world and brought things back. That's a very fascinating rock that they have standing over here. Wow. And even this picture, the ladies between the cacti, it's also super cool. The young boy in between there. This room tells us so much about the history of this family already. But we're going to go through this house now and we're going to show you even more of the life of these people. I almost died over there walking over that pot. Okay. But that brings us to the hallway of this property. And oh wow, I haven't seen this one yet. That must be a grandchild of Claire or Antoine. This is a fairly new picture. And she has a Spanish outfit on there. I don't know what the exact name for this outfit is. It's quite beautiful. But from here, we're going into the kitchen of this property. And this is a very, very typical French kitchen, as you can see. It's going to tell us even more about the story of these people and who these people were and what they did in life. Wow. I really love these French kitchens. The dark wood over here. Let's see if they left everything behind in here as well. All their pasta still neatly stacked here in the jars. All their condiments and everything basically just left behind after Mr. Jean-Paul passed away. Yeah, that is crazy. Even the slow cooker and everything still standing here on the stove. You can clearly see that nobody has been in here for like 20 years. They also don't come back to this place from memories. They just don't want to be here anymore. Oh my God. Whole kitchen cabinet. Still full of everything. Do I have some last meal on the stove here? No. Oh, there's still a casserole in there. Okay. Wow. What's this? Oh, I thought this was a drawing, but it's not. And here you could also go outside into some sort of a patio area. Let's see. Yeah, it's very bright outside. It's cold inside and it's very warm outside of this place. Hey, have a look at this. So on top of this counter here, we can see 2 butcher's knives. And obviously, when Jean-Paul shot an animal, he would bring it inside of this place. But I saw this picture, which I found extremely fascinating. Obviously, this is not an animal that they hunted, but they just slaughtered. And this is a picture of a pig that was lying roughly exactly here. You can see exactly here this was lying, and he was slaughtering this animal inside of this kitchen of the household here. I found this picture absolutely fascinating. Wow. And as well a calendar here with the date of 2008 over there. And I was thinking back and I thought to myself, 2008, that's not that long ago. It's basically 20 years ago right now. Time is going so fast. The older I get, the faster time is going, to my opinion. A little bit of holy water here in the corner. Is there still something left in the fridge? No, the fridge is empty. And then we have the fireplace over here. This is such a cool fireplace. Wow, the stonework. And with the stove here, still a pot on top of there. Completely covered at this point in spider webs. And obviously more pictures. And here again, those Spanish dances with the castañetes. I should search what that dance is called. But that also tells us a bit more about the history of the mother, about Simone Gaudy. And Simone Gaudy was a French and Spanish teacher. And she probably visited Spain a lot or had some ties to Spain. And that's why she taught Spanish, Spanish in school, and also why we see all the Spanish history throughout the house and the souvenirs from Spain. A lot of things in these households start to make sense if you go look a little bit deeper. And the bellow still left over there. And I must say, this corner over here, this setup over here looks even a little bit German to me. Doesn't look that French anymore. And then the firewood underneath the fireplace here. I was looking at this wall over here as well, and I saw this one with the dogs, or with the dog. That's quite cool. It's probably one of their dogs. He has a plushie or a real duck in his mouth. It looks more like a real duck than a plushie to me. Look at him, very proudly coming to show what he got. And that's a picture or painting of the town that we find ourselves in today. A couple more artifacts. This was the one that you saw in the background of the picture of the slaughter, of the pig that they were slaughtering. Wow. Very cool kitchen, I must say. But now everybody, it's time for the living room. And that's quite the room. Okay, the carpet is like holding the door back, so I have to squeeze literally through here to get into this room. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, nobody has been in this room in quite some time, I believe. Have a look at the room that we are finding ourselves into right now. To my opinion, it feels a bit like this is definitely designed by a history and a language teacher. And I will show you why. Every cabinet is quite historical. You can see here, we have a knight on the cabinet carved inside of there. I do believe that every single piece in this place is not antique. They're all replicas of antique pieces. These people were not extremely rich. They were just normal French people with normal jobs, like they were teachers. But they did live a very full life, and they did want to design their place in a very authentic way with all these pieces of furniture. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, it's still completely filled with all those glasses. Look at the mold that's in the back of this cabinet. I should not have this open for too long. But all their precious glasses and everything are still in here. Even this lamp cap is completely molded up. It's disgusting. You get a picture, most likely, of their grandchildren, as you can see. Oh, what was that? Even a couple of their clock faces of their watches are left here. No. Somebody painted in this house for sure. It doesn't have a signature on there. Look at this bench underneath here. That's usually something that you would put in a hallway of a house. You can open it up and then it's full of magazines. And then the dining space of the house. Lovely chandelier hanging above there. I think they got these chairs together with the other ones because they're designed in exactly the same way. Most likely they were replicas as well. And I think the whole furniture set they got at once. You can also see that the castles and the lions are here engraved here on the leatherwork. And over here as well. It's definitely something that a history teacher would get. So with 4 people, Antoine, Claire, Jean-Paul, Simone, everybody in this household. And that's actually a quite nice chandelier, I must say. Former oil lantern turned into a chandelier. Oh yeah, we saw before also the picture of horse riding. That might have also been something that the family of this household did. Some plants, the birds pasted in here. Wow. Oh, these cabinets. Look at those. They even have crests in there with helmets on it. And look at this one. Wow. That's quite something. Even all their plates. So Simone, she just left this place behind and she moved away from this house as fast as she could after hearing the story of her husband, after hearing of what happened to him. Underneath here we even have claws. The cabin is held up by claws, as you can see. And a lot more dogs on this picture as well. Oh, another painting, still life, flowers. But this one is awesome. I'm not sure if this is Claire or this is Simone, but this is definitely one of the two. And you could see their passion for animals in this picture, for dogs in particular. They were writing about them. They always had dogs throughout their life. And this was, yeah, something that they really enjoyed. And fossils. Fossils as well. This is fossils à travers le monde. The fossils of the world, it says over here. It's probably something that they collected. They had this display cabinet over here and was completely filled with fossils and souvenirs that they would get, geographical souvenirs that they would get from around the world. So sad that nothing of this is taken. Look at this. There's even a karaoke set here on top of the television. Wow. It's quite good microphones, Shure microphones, as you can see. So somebody in this house, or they just did karaoke together with the family members, and you could see that these people, they were really happy people and they lived a very good life. All the equipment still in there, VHS tapes even, historical films, obviously historical films. And then a chinoiserie cabinet as well. I'm not sure again if this one is a real one or a fake one. One thing I just noticed also here in this living room is this dog over here. And this is the dog that we see in Jean-Paul's room in the beginning of the video as well. This is the dog in a wheelchair. And here we have another dog depicted on the wall of this place. Oh, wow. This picture is most likely the one from the hallway of the lady in the dress. Wow. And then here we have the couch where the family came together in the evening and sat down. It's so beautiful. Everything is overgrown here. Look at the front garden. Not much is left of it anymore.
So, like we said, Jean-Paul was gone, shot out in the fields in what was officially written off as a hunting accident, and for Simone, that was it. She couldn't stay in this house anymore. Every single room in here held him. So she did something drastic. She left France altogether, using those friendships built years before. She took Claire and Antoine and moved to Hungary and started their lives over from nothing. And the house? It was simply left. Almost nothing taken. The ballet photos are still on the walls, the letters are still in their drawers, and the hunting trophies of the very hobby that may have cost Jean-Paul his life still watch over the rooms. For us, that's what makes this place linger. It isn't a house that slowly died. It's a happy home, frozen at the exact moment it emptied. One senseless afternoon out in the fields, and a whole family was gone.
Okay, let's now head upstairs. And let's see what we can find in the bedrooms of this place. If we can go deeper into their story. Animals were such a big part of their life. Even here in the stairway, we have a complete fish tank standing here. Luckily, it's completely drained and there are no dead fish in there. But yeah, there's a complete fish tank over here. And even more peacock feathers. Oh, the air in this house is very still. And I do feel like I should not stay in here for too long. It's not that pleasant, and I'm having a very dry mouth over here as well. So you can definitely feel that the family has not been here for a long time. On the wall here we have a wedding picture, and this could have been Claire or Simone again. But I do believe this might have been Claire. Another picture of them dancing, as you can see. And here on the wall, you have yet another beautiful picture. That is awesome. Probably of the children getting married, Antoine and Claire, both of them placed here on the household walls, the upstairs. I am immediately drawn into this room of the property. This is a really, really beautiful room, as you can see. And it looks like a room where a child, or perhaps even a grandchild, used to sleep at last. There's a picture of a younger girl here in the wall of this room, and that probably tells us that this was the room of one of the grandchildren that came to visit the family from time to time. Even their doll and everything is left behind. I love the small canopy that they created over here above the bed. Quite French, I must say. That is absolutely beautiful. With a still made bed and everything. No, there's nothing super interesting in here. Wow, those pictures are awesome. Oh, that's a beautiful painting. (1971). Oh my God, that's an old one. Huh. A lot of stuff left in this place. Too much stuff left in this place. Oh, this is the... Hey, look at this. I'm going to take this chair for a second. If you need... See this here? This is all the colors that I painted with. So we can definitely conclude from this that somebody in this household did paint some of these depictions or pictures and paintings that we see in this place. Okay. And here we have another. Oh, that's so sad. You can see the dog with the wheelchair over here. Here he is still walking around, and then probably something happened to him and he had to be wheelchair bound, as you can see over here. Still playing with that other dog that we saw before with the duck in his mouth. Oh, that's so sad. A couple more. The things that this child in this room left behind. Even all that clothing. Wow. Okay, and now we're back in the hallway over here. We also have a bathroom to this side, and inside this bathroom, yeah, even everything is left here in the bathroom, including all their shampoos, their hair dryers. So that means they took nothing out of this place when I left it behind. Almost nothing was taken. Okay, the next room of the property. Oh, look at this. This is a picture of Claire in her ballet outfit, as you can see. Wow. And this must have definitely been then Claire, her room back in the time. Here she looks like she was still a teenager, tying up her shoes, ready for a performance. And this might have been her when she was doing her communion. Wow. Sometimes sorry if I sometimes stumble over my words in this place, because I told you before the air is extremely dry in here. All their clothing still here in the cabinet. Absolutely crazy. We even see a picture here of Antoine on the wall, most likely also doing his communion. Wow. And something that I do really enjoy here in this house is that even though the historical features are not real, like these curtains and everything, they still are very beautiful in some places. Crown molding here on the ceiling. Very nice. And even a little vanity setup with a couple of pictures still left behind of the family. That is definitely Jean-Paul. And that's definitely Simone and Jean-Paul together with the wedding of their daughter. That is awesome. I really, really like this picture, and this tells a lot about the story of this family. They were a very tight-knit family, and they really loved each other, as you can see from this picture. Wow. Huh. And a picture of a young child here as well on the wall. Okay, next we go into this room, and I believe this room used to be the master bedroom of the property. Yeah, this is definitely the master bedroom of this place. The place where Jean-Paul and Simone slept together, lived together, and loved together. Wow. The same chair as the one that's standing in his working room downstairs. Okay, really cool. Oh my God, look at this painting that is lying here on top of the cabinet. A man driving a car inside of a house, even a windscreen. This is the true definition of a mobile home. This is an RV, but then really an RV. Wow, that's cool. And then, oh wow, Simone, you can literally see that Simone left all her clothing inside of here when she left this place behind. All of her clothes are still in here. So when she left to Hungary, she didn't even take her clothes. I'm now even thinking if she really left to Hungary. Because, yeah, I'm not 100% sure about the story, but there are clues pointing to that she left to Hungary after her husband passed away. But I have to do a bit more research when I get home. That's crazy. Even the suitcases and everything are still left there. Huh. For this last room, somebody broke the whole door, but the door is not open yet. So we have to crawl through it. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Very blue room. This looks like a boy's room. This could have even been Antoine's room. Like when he still lived here. That must have been a long, long time ago. Okay. So yeah, not too much to show in this room, but you can see the beautiful structure of the house in this one. That's super nice. Let's see if his clothing is still left here in the cabinet. The cabinet is closed. That is very strange. Wow, what a weird and interesting house at the same time. What a sad and tragic story about this family, and I really hope Simone, Claire and Antoine are okay and they are somewhere safe. And yeah, they just left this whole place behind. It's very eerie, creepy, at the same time beautiful. And that's how it goes with exploring, and that's how these stories go. And I want to thank you for being here with me today, exploring this place with me. And I also noticed that around 70% of people that watch the channel are not subscribed. What are you doing? Go down there, scroll down, swipe down, click that button. What are you waiting for? It's free, and it's the best way to support the channel and help get these videos seen to everybody in the world. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the video, and I'll see you next week in another amazing episode. Bye-bye.